All right, let's dive in. Today, we're getting up close and personal with one of the most important molecules in your body. It's a tiny biological machine, and it's absolutely fundamental to every single breath you take.
It's one of those questions that's so simple, we almost never think to ask it. We just know blood is red. But the reason behind that vibrant, life-sustaining color, well, that's one of the most elegant stories in all of biology. And this is it. This is our culprit right here. Everything, the color, the ability to carry oxygen, the very essence of how we get energy to our cells, it's all packed into this one beautiful, intricate little structure.
So what we're looking at is a molecule called Hemin. And that vibrant red color? Yeah, that's no accident. It all comes down to how the electrons buzzing around that iron atom in the center interact with light. They absorb the blue and green parts of the spectrum, and what gets reflected back at us is that intense, iconic red. This thing literally colors our lifeblood. Okay, so to really get how this thing works, we've got to take it apart piece by piece, and our journey begins right at its core, its glowing metallic heart. Let's zoom right in on that metallic core. Because believe me, without this one specific element, the whole system just falls apart. And there it is, right in the center, labeled Fe. That's the chemical symbol for iron, of course. This single atom, sitting right in the middle of this whole complex structure, is pretty much the hero of our whole story. And here's the most crucial part. It's the iron atom that has this amazing ability to bind with oxygen, but it does it reversibly. Think about it. It's strong enough to grab onto an oxygen molecule in your lungs, but it's also smart enough to let it go exactly where it's needed, like your muscles or your brain. It's the perfect delivery service on a molecular scale. Okay, but that raises a question, right? I mean, you can't just have a single iron atom floating around randomly. It needs some kind of support structure, something to hold it in exactly the right position to do its job. And that's exactly where the rest of this amazing molecule comes into play. It builds what is, for all intents and purposes, a perfectly designed throne, made specifically to present that iron atom to the world. Now, take a look at this. What's so cool is you can actually see how that iron atom is being gripped by those 4 nitrogen atoms, the little ends. They're part of this huge, stable ring structure called a porphyrin ring. This whole ring is basically the scaffold.
Yeah, or a cage, if you like that analogy better.
But it's not about trapping it. It's more like a custom-built holster, holding that iron in the perfect position to grab oxygen. It's just perfect engineering, right from nature. So this ring's backbone, it's mostly built from carbon atoms, all linked up with those super important nitrogen atoms that are actually doing the gripping. And this combo creates this incredibly stable, rigid platform. It's exactly what you need to hold that iron securely. Okay, so we've got our iron core, we've got this scaffold holding it. Now what? Let's see how it all comes together to build the final, functional supermolecule. If you think about it, it's kind of like a 3-step assembly process. First, you start with that big foundational ring. Step 2, you pop in the precious cargo, that iron atom, right in the middle. And then finally, you add on some functional side chains to the outside to fine-tune the whole thing. And this shows that last step perfectly. See those little groups sticking off the sides? The CH3 and the CH2 equals CH? Yeah, those aren't just for decoration. Nope. Each one plays a role, helping the molecule sit just right inside a larger protein and tweaking its chemical properties. You have to understand, nothing here is random. Every single atom, every bond, it's all the result of billions of years of fine-tuning by evolution, creating a machine that is perfectly optimized for one vital purpose.
All right, so we've built it. We've seen all the parts. Now let's talk about the big question. Why? What's its ultimate purpose?
Here's the thing. This heme molecule, it doesn't work alone. It's actually the most important part, you could call it the business end, of a much bigger protein that I know you've heard of. Hemoglobin. You know, the main protein in our red blood cells. And its job? Well, it's pretty simple to say, but it is absolutely essential for us to live. Every single time you take a breath, the iron in billions, trillions of these molecules grabs onto oxygen. And then, as your blood rushes around your body, it lets that oxygen go, dropping it off at your brain, your muscles, your organs, literally everywhere. And when I say trillions, I am not kidding. Get this. A single red blood cell, just one, is packed with about 270 million of these hemoglobin proteins. And remember, each of those has 4 of these Hemin units. The numbers are they're mind-boggling.
So, the next time you take a nice deep breath, just picture it. Breathing in, that's just step one. This molecule is what makes that breath actually do something for your body. It's what makes it all worthwhile.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? I mean, if just one molecule can have a story this elegant and this vital, what other incredible secrets are just hiding in plain sight inside the building blocks of you and me?